Today, I will be taking a personality test so you guys can finally figure out which personality type I am. There's apparently a lot of speculation around this, so who better to hear from than the source himself, Sambucha. The website I will be using is 16personalities.com. Lock in your bets of what you think I'm gonna be. Let's do this. If you've never taken a personality test before, basically all they do is give you a list of probing questions to figure out whether you're introverted, extroverted, or any other associated characteristics. So first up, you regularly make new friends. I would probably stay neutral on that. I'm not like a very outgoing person who seeks new friends often. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. I don't think so. I think I like what I like. I do what I do. I have a couple hobbies. I hang out with people, but that's kind of it. I don't really care to like look into things that are kind of random. But let's do like a slight disagree. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. I'm not really brought to tears just because somebody else cries. I mean, if somebody I love cries, then like I'll be more privy to crying, but generally no. Also off disagree. I do cry at movies a lot. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. I would softly agree with this. I'm a very objective person. I have like a huge to-do list every day, and if I don't do something, I always have like a backup to it. But I think actually like hard agree. Let's go like right here. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. So this is something that I definitely like value a lot about myself. I think I'm extremely consistent. I think I have like a strong stoicism when it comes to certain things. So I'm gonna hard agree with this. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. I tend to agree with this. I don't love just like branching out and like talking to random people. I'll agree with this. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. I'm a little bit scatterbrained. Like I think if I'm working on something and something else diverts my attention, I'll definitely hop ships a bit. But as a rule of thumb, I definitely like to finish something and then move on. I think I'll softly agree with this. You're very sentimental. I'm actually a very sentimental person. Maybe not outwardly emotional like that, but I'm certainly sentimental, so I'll agree. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I think I have to hard disagree on that. I have a lot of self-confidence, especially when it comes to my intelligence. So I've never really thought of myself as stupid. I've never thought of myself as anything less than what I actually am, I think. So disagree. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Do I feel comfortable? I mean, I guess, but it's not something that I actively do. I'll put this in the middle. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. I think I disagree with this a little bit, and the reason I say that is because yes, I'm very analytical and I consider myself to be an objective person, but my actions don't reflect that, as evidence that I'm sitting in this chair making a YouTube video instead of working in finance, for example. So let's disagree. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. That's a hard disagree. I love my daily routine. I follow it to a T every single day. It needs to be done in order for me to feel happy, honestly, so disagree. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. Yeah, I agree. I don't really care what people think about me too much when I first meet them, because if it's not somebody who I already love or care about or potentially could care about, why do I care about what they think about me? I kind of agree with this hard. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. I don't really love that too much. I kind of like the completion, like a finality to something, especially if it's like a movie or a TV show. So I think I'll disagree with this. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. This is tough because both are equally rewarding. I love helping others. I love giving to others, like if we're talking gift giving, but it is nice to kind of like look at your own accomplishments and realize that you've done something with your life. So I'm gonna put it right in the middle. Can't go wrong. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. I think I disagree with this. I pretty much have a path that I'm gonna take in life. I kind of know what that is at this point, so I'm gonna disagree. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Sometimes. I think specifically as it relates to my career and things like that. I'm just like, oh, when will this end? It's not like this impending feeling of doom that's gonna happen, but there's certainly some worry, I suppose. So let's go agree. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. I definitely disagree with this. I mean, if I'm just thinking back to college group projects, I feel like I'm always taking charge, always carrying people. I definitely like to hold people accountable too. Let's disagree with this. You're definitely not an artistic type of person. I would say that I disagree with that. I'm not artistic in the sense of like a musical ability or drawing or anything like that. But I think in terms of creativity, I definitely would be up there a little bit. So let's disagree. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. 1 billion% agree. I am physically unable to relax unless everything is done. You enjoy watching people argue. I like a little drama. I'm gonna say slight agree. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. This one's a weird one, because as a creator, you're kind of defined by your views, like how many eyeballs are literally watching you. And so I love that. I love views. But if I'm in public or something, I definitely don't like act outwardly. Like I don't want people to kind of like zero in on me and stare at me or anything. So I think I'd like maybe go neutral on this because there's a little split decision here. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Yes, very much so. Maybe it's toxic, maybe it's not. I don't care, it's true. Slightly agree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. So in the past, yes, like if I'm writing an essay, I'll do it the night before. If I'm doing homework, it's the period before. But nowadays, like when it comes to content and stuff, like I'll schedule out videos, I'll give myself like a 2 to 3 day buffer. So I think I'm starting to get better at that, so I'll disagree a little bit. You've always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Yes, this is like 100% something I think about pretty often. It's always interesting to go through the thought process, so I'll agree with this. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. So I think I slight disagree with this. Obviously I love being around others, but I am introverted and I tend to like recharge when I'm by myself. So I'll go like slight disagree here. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I think that's when it gets exciting. So I'll say disagree. You rarely second guess the choices you've made. I don't think I've ever second guessed a single thing that I've ever done. Agree. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. Hard disagree. You enjoy going to art museums. I hate art museums. I hate the Louvre. I hate the Museum of Modern Art, but they're not the worst thing in the world. So I won't go the hardest disagree. I'll go the next one over. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I also disagree with this pretty hard. I think, like I said, empathy is a pretty strong point of mine. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Hard agree. I would show it to you, but there's some things on there that I think I have to keep under the wraps. You avoid making phone calls. Phone calls are 1000% more efficient than text messaging. I think that's like millennial of me, and I know a lot of Gen Z people like either FaceTiming or texting, but I think phone calls are really good. I'll disagree. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. I definitely don't spend a ton of time just like listening to other people's opinions because you only have so much time to intake data. I kind of have a little bit of a confirmation bias, but I'll spend some time. So what? Slight disagree? In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. I do believe so. I think that when it comes down to it, I reach out more than people reach out to me. It's pretty close though. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I never think about the meaning of life. I think when people spend too much time thinking about the meaning of life, it's ironically meaningless. I think you live life how you want to live. You live by some golden rules that you apply to yourself, etc. But I really don't think about this too much, so agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. I disagree. I think I have a good grasp of my emotions. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely their fault. I think I agree with this. I think it's good not to make people feel too bad about themselves. Wow, almost done. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I think it's a combination of both. Like I stay organized with my to-do list, but then for half the day, I won't do it. But then when I do it, it'll be within like an hour or two and I'll get like everything done, like all my recordings and stuff. So it's spontaneous, but it's definitely organized. This question's kind of split, so neutral. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. I don't care, disagree. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Agree, and that's what I have, and yeah. You know at first glance how someone's feeling. I agree with this. And the final questions. You often feel overwhelmed. I think I feel overwhelmed because I always feel like I could be doing more, but it's never this overwhelming feeling that I can't do it. Maybe I'll slightly agree, but it's like it's like positive stress in your life, you know? You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. Which race is better? I think I'm slightly controversial, not in a bad way, but I certainly like to push people's buttons because there's no reason everybody should just be like an NPC who subscribes to the same exact thing that everybody else subscribes to. So I think controversy is a very good thing. And I'm certainly intrigued by it, I guess, so I'll agree. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. If it's somebody I love, yes. If it's somebody I don't know or care about, no. So maybe disagree. You struggle with deadlines. I disagree. I don't think I've ever failed to meet a deadline ever in my life. And the final question, you feel confident that things will work out for you. Definitely agree with this. I am 1000% confident in myself, for better or for worse. All right, let's see what we have here. So my personality type is Defender, ISFJA. So I'm mainly introverted, 60% observant, 54% feeling, 83% judging, 85% assertive. They want my email. And there we go, ISFJ. Thank you guys for watching. Watch this video if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.